Welcome back to Mr. DuPage's classroom. This lesson is for my Algebra 1 class. It is 3.2, combining like terms. The first three here are going to be review based off of the combining like terms lesson we did a little while back. Go ahead and try 1, 2, and 3 on your own. Pause the video, give it a shot, and then come back and see how you did. Alright, let's check out number 1. The first thing we want to do is only combine the terms that have the same variable. That would be my 4x minus my 6x. Well, 4 minus 6 would be negative 2x plus 7y. When I add or subtract like terms or the same variable, I will not change the exponent. That is why it is just negative 2x. Number 2 is a little trickier. I got a few more things to worry about. In order to be like terms, the variable must be the same and the exponents must be the same. So 12x squared is the first thing I come up to. Is there another x squared up here? Yes, there is. It's the negative 3x squared. So 12x squared minus 3x squared would be 9x squared. Then I need to check out the next thing I run into, which is the positive 5x. Well, positive 5x plus x would equal positive 6x. Okay. Number 3, I have 5y minus 7y plus 10y. All three of those are like terms. So the first thing I want to do is take the 5y minus the 7y. That would get us negative 2y plus 10y now. Well, negative 2y plus 10y would get me positive 8y. Hopefully you did pretty well on that. That is a review of a previous lesson. Now we need to solve by combining like terms. I want to start thinking of equations as balanced scales. If you take something away from one side, you must also take it away from the other side. What if you just combine two terms on the same side? Do you have to add or subtract or multiply or divide on the other side? Well, this is what they did right here in this location. They took the 2x and added the 3x. Did I change the value of the left-hand side? I did not. I just combined the 2x and the 3x in order to get my 5x. I kept my negative 6. I kept my 14. So since I combined the 2x and the 3x on the left side, what should I do to the right side? Well, actually, there is nothing that you have to do, because I did not change the value of the left side. I don't have to change the value of the the right side. Basically what I mean by that is I did not do the opposite operation in order to move it across the equal sign. Okay, so really all I did is just combined and made it cleaner on the left hand side. I did not subtract 2x from both sides, or I did not subtract 2x from the left side, so I did not have to subtract 2x from the right side. Recommendation is to do it this way. When I have a problem like 3x plus 5 plus 12x equals 35, what I want to do is rewrite the problem so that my x's are next to each other. What property do I use if I do that? Well, that is known as the commutative property. It just means that I kind of think of the left-hand side as being a community. You have a friend that is across the room from you. If I were to have someone leave the room, there's another room full of people that we're weighed out to be the same. If I actually leave the room to go talk to another friend, then I will lose my balance, okay? But if I just move across the same room that I started in to get closer to another friend, the two rooms will stay in balance. Okay, so now let's go ahead and solve, finish this problem. Well, I start out with a 3x. Is there another x on the left-hand side? There is. It's this positive 12x. Well, 3x plus 12x is 15x. I'm going to keep my plus 5 right now, and equals 35. Well, now I just need to get the x by itself. I'm going to go back to my two-step equations. I would have to subtract the 5. That would get me 15x is equal to 30. How do I get the x by itself? I will divide by 15 on both sides. So x would equal 2. Okay? Why don't you go ahead and try... Well, actually, don't try anything yet. Let's go through 1, 2, and 3 together. Then I'll have you try 4 through 9 on your own. All right? So we need to rewrite our problem just like we did on that last little example. I want to put the a's together. So I have 3a plus 6 equals 50. What is 3a plus a? Well, it would be 4a plus 6 would equal 50. I need to get the a by itself. First step would be to subtract 6. That would leave me with 4a is equal to 44. What would be my next step? Well, I have 4 times a. I would need to divide by 4 on both sides. So a would equal 11. You want to make sure that you check those answers every single time. If I put 11 in for a, I would have 3 times 11 is 33. Plus 6 would be 39. Plus 11 would be 50. So that answer is good. Okay. Now, number 2, my b's are already next to each other, so I do not have to rewrite this problem. I'm just going to start out by combining like terms. 3b minus 4b would get me a negative b, plus 11 would equal 20. I have, this is really negative 1 times b, so really my first step is to subtract 11. That would leave me with negative 1b is equal to 9. Need to divide by negative 1 on both sides. That would leave me with b is equal to negative 9. Well, what is 3 times negative 9? That would be negative 27. Negative 4 times negative 9 would be positive 36. Negative 27 plus positive 36 would get me negative 9, positive 9, I'm sorry. Positive 9 plus 11 would get me 20. So that is correct, and I did check it. Again, you can just use your calculator to check if you would like. Okay. Now I have a couple of ways I want to rewrite, or I'm sorry. This goes back to our last lesson. I want to get my variable on the left-hand side because that's just the way I'm used to doing it. If you're okay with keeping your variable on the right-hand side, that's fine, but I'm going to rewrite it. So 4c minus 2c plus 1 is equal to 7. My c's are already next to each other, so they're already close to their friends that they like. 4c minus 2c would equal 2c, plus 1 would be 7. The operation that's furthest, or the number that is furthest from my variable, would be the positive 1. So I need to go ahead and subtract 1 from both sides. That would leave me with 2c is equal to 6. Now I would need to divide by 2. So c would equal 3. If I put 3 back in the original equation, I need the right-hand side to equal that 7. So 4 times 3 is 12. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. 12 minus 6 would be positive 6, plus 1 would equal 7. So this is actually good. Okay? Go ahead and try 4 through 9 on your own. Pause the video, give yourself some time. When you are finished, come back and let's see how you did. All right, let's see how you did on number 4. The first thing I want to do is rewrite the problem. So negative 2y plus 5y plus 5 would equal 14. Negative 2y plus 5y would get me 3y plus 5 would equal 14. Now I need to subtract my 5's. 3y would equal 9. Divide by 3, divide by 3. Y would equal positive 3. Need to check that. Negative 2 times 3 would be negative 6. Negative 6 plus 5 would be negative 1. 5 times 3 would be 15. So negative 1 plus 15 would in fact be 14. So my answer is good. Number 5, be careful here. I need to keep that negative with the 2e when I rewrite my problem. So it would be negative 3e minus 2e plus 8 would equal negative 12. What is negative 3e minus 2e? That is negative 5e plus 8 would equal my negative 12. I need to subtract 8. So negative 5e would equal negative 20. Divide by negative 5, divide by negative 5. E would equal 4. Go ahead and type that in the calculator. Make sure that it works. Well, negative 3 times 4 would be negative 12. Negative 12 plus 8 would be negative 4. Negative 2 times 4 would be negative 8. Negative 4 minus 8 would, in fact, be negative 12. So my answer is good. Let's look at number 6. My f's are already next to each other. I don't necessarily need to rewrite this, but if you want to get the f's in front, go ahead. I'm just going to keep them the way they are, though. So 28, what is negative 1f plus 4f? Well, that would be positive 3f is equal to 29. I need to get the f by itself, so I need to subtract the 28. 3f would equal 1. Divide both sides by 3. F would equal 1/3. Okay? Go ahead and type that through on your calculator. I'm not going to keep talking through how to check my answers, but that should be correct. All right? Number 7. I may want to rewrite this so that my g's are on the left-hand side. You do not have to, but if you want to, it would be 0.25g minus 0.5g is equal to 2.25. 0.25g minus 0.5g would get me negative 0.25g is equal to 2.25. I would need to divide by negative 0.25. Negative 0.25. So g would equal negative 9. Okay? How about number 8? I do not have my h's next to each other, so I want to go ahead and rewrite this. Remember that that negative needs to come with that 7h. So 15h minus 7h minus 1 plus 4 would equal 67. 15h minus 7h would be 8h. Negative 1 plus 4 would be positive 3. That would be equal to 67. My brain kind of jumped ahead there. That would be equal to 67. I need to subtract my 3. 8h would equal 64. Divide by 8. Divide by 8. H would equal 8. Okay? The last one, number 9, again, if you want to rewrite this problem so that your x is on the left-hand side, you can. So it would be 2 minus x equals 13. Need to combine my like terms. So it would be 2 minus 2x is equal to 13. I need to subtract my 2 to start with. So negative 2x would equal, what's 13 minus 2? Well, that's 11. Divide by negative 2. Divide by negative 2. Go ahead and keep that as a fraction. All right. Well, that is the end of our video. The most important thing to remember is I can rewrite my equation so that my variables that are already on the same side can be closer together. It just helps us with a visual to see that or see what we are going to be combining, the like terms that we're going to be combining. If you want to, again, remember that if all my variables are on the right hand side and I want to move them to the left, I just need to flip my equation. If you have any questions, please make sure you ask tomorrow, and have a great day.